It's 7:48. According to Expatweb, if we're to meet President Cyril Ramaphosa's goal of boosting foreign investment and attracting skilled people to our country, we urgently need to optimize South Africa's current visa application process. The company adds that the country needs to prioritize creating a more holistic evaluation process. To talk to us about it is Marisa Jacobs, who is an immigration specialist at Xpatweb. Marisa, thank you so much for your time. Perhaps you can take us into your typical day, especially when it comes to processing visa applications, so that the listener can get an idea as to what the concerns are.
Good morning. Yes. Well, our typical clients are large corporates who are looking to bring foreign nationals into the country, either because they're transferring them from their foreign offices to South African offices, or because they are looking for people who are critically skilled and they can't find resources in South Africa, so they look abroad to bring these resources in. Now, when you apply for a visa for the first time, it's required that you submit that application in your home country at one of the South African High Commissions or embassies abroad. And in some countries, they've allocated VFS offices like there is in South Africa in those countries, such as the UK, etc. So when you compile these applications, because there's so many different offices that are processing, each of these offices have their own rules and regulations, and to some extent have their own requirements. So even though the Immigration Act has a very specific list of documentation and support documents that you need to submit, each embassy will also have their own additional little list of documents that they ask for. So it's very important when you put these applications together that you look at where it's being submitted, for which category it's being submitted, and so that you can make sure that you comply with the specific regulations and ultimately successfully obtain a visa so that business can continue.
In terms of your communication, maybe within yourself or other people who are in the same industry as you, between yourselves and the Department of Home Affairs, what's the communication like, especially when it comes to dealing with some of the issues or the long-term, I suppose, what takes it too long for you to process those visa applications?
So where the visas are required for big businesses in South Africa who are investing, etc., there are channels to escalate matters and to ask for intervention, and we certainly make use of those to speak to the corporate accounts unit, for example, or to Home Affairs head office, and to try and get intervention and get them to assist us where there are issues. So there's certainly some channels available, yes.
So what's the next plan, I suppose, when it comes to dealing with some of the issues around visa applications that perhaps may even deter skilled foreigners from coming into South Africa? How do we solve that issue?
Well, it definitely needs to happen at policy level, and in terms of the Immigration Act is being reviewed at the moment after the white paper was released last year. So it's a matter of getting involved. It doesn't help we sit back and complain about things not going right. Business needs to come forward when there are these forums being held by the Department of Home Affairs asking for input, asking them to raise issues, what isn't working well, what can we do better. We as business need to get together and say these are common issues that we are facing, and these are the things that are hampering us in bringing skills in and developing business, and we need to stand together and have a voice.
Marisa, thank you so much for your time. That's Marisa Jacobs, who's an immigration specialist at Expatweb.